今日帶大家嚟到呢度呢，你唔好以為係李小龍博物館喎。我起初都以為係李小龍博物館，但係其實係一個李小龍迷嘅屋企，真係佢好多佢嘅所有有關李小龍嘅資料啊！咁今日真係要大開眼界。
我係 Patrick， 我係英國人，我係李小龍迷，是級個仔。
呢間房最 impress 我嘅呢，就係呢，其實我所有嘢都未見過嘅，可能會有啲反光係咪？咁我 close up 俾大家睇下，呢個竟然係李小龍嘅親筆寫嘅信嚟嘅。咁我未有時間去慢慢去睇佢寫咩啦，淨係覺得李小龍嗰手字咧真係好靚，好 neat 啊，同埋真係覺得佢係一個好精細嘅一個人。縱使我唔係咁了解李小龍啦，但係咧都俾呢一度嘅 cover 咧，啲雜誌封面咧吸引咗。嘉禾電影，咁大家唔好以為啲雜誌就借得咁多喎，陣間我 show 俾你睇，到底仲有幾多？或者喺呢度先俾年輕觀眾嚟一個簡介先，俾年長觀眾就嚟一個回顧咁啦。咁咧李小龍咧，佢原名咧係叫李振藩嘅，佢係1940年出世，但係喺1973年離開人世啦。嗰陣時只係得32歲。佢唔係喺香港出世嘅喎，佢係喺美國三藩市出世，但係就喺香港成長嘅。咁由於佢嘅獨特嘅武術同埋功夫技巧，佢係喺短短幾年期間呢，電影事業風靡全球嘅，可謂係前無古人後無來者。咁佢其實拍嘅電影係唔多嘅，最有代表性同埋最出名嘅分別係喺1971年嘅《唐山大兄》啦，1972年嘅《精武門》，同年仲有《猛龍過江》，1973年嘅《龍爭虎鬥》同埋《死亡遊戲》。當時李小龍嘅師傅就係詠春拳著名大師葉問。李小龍喺少年時期學習咗詠春拳啦，並深受葉問嘅影響。而後嚟呢，李小龍發展出佢獨特嘅武術哲學，仲創立咗自己嘅武術風格添。咁到底李小龍有啲乜嘢係吸引到阿 Patrick 對呢一位東方偶像咁崇拜？佢自己嘅成長背景又係點樣嘅呢？
I just think as Bruce Lee was special. Yeah, at the time you don't realise how good he was, but I've always brought up I don't see colour, I just see people. Back in the 70s there was a lot of racism, and Bruce Lee broke them barriers down, and I grew up in a multicultural environment, so yeah, that's just one of my philosophies, that I don't see colour, I just see people. So Bruce Lee was just a person to me. I didn't see him as Chinese, I just saw him as a human being. I come from an Irish parentage, and I grew up in London, where my parents emigrated here from Ireland, and it was roughly at the same time that the Caribbean people emigrated to the UK. So the Irish and the Caribbean people were a good mixture. We were both like immigrants in a foreign country, but we got on. So I've always had friends of different colours.
李小龍帶領嘅功夫熱潮喺1970年代達到咗最頂峰， 而李小龍喺短短幾年期間紅透半邊天，風靡全球。當時只有10歲嘅 Patrick 對李小龍極為仰慕，佢自己都估唔到喺呢幾10年之間對呢一位超級偶像不離不棄。
When I first saw Bruce in a poster, I was 10, and when Bruce's films were in the pictures where you would go to see them, you had to be 18. So the only way that you could get to see them was in a private club. So that's where I first saw Bruce Lee's film. At that time, then you had the Kung Fu boom all around the world. So everyone wanted to see Bruce Lee. So the whole of the country was caught up with Bruce Lee. So I was just lucky that there were some private clubs that you could get to see Bruce Lee's film, and you could go to Chinatown. You could watch Bruce Lee's films in Chinatown. They didn't have an age restriction. So I was very lucky living in London that I could go to Chinatown. But they were all in Chinese. You could basically follow the story. But like when you go to see Bruce Lee, you just go to see Bruce Lee fight. So that's how I first got to see him.
從嗰個時候開始 ，Patrick 就開始收集有關李小龍嘅雜誌、畫冊、海報等等。點知到後來佢就越儲越多。
As I said previously, in the boom, there was a lot of magazines that came out in the UK on Bruce Lee. So you'd save up your pocket money and buy whatever came out on Bruce Lee. And then I was very lucky, like I said before, because I could go into Chinatown and I would get a lot of the magazines that were printed in Hong Kong.
In London,
in London, yeah. You could get them in Chinatown, London. And I went to Golden Harvest, which was the film company that made Bruce Lee's first 2 films. They had an office in London. So I used to go there quite often, and I would bring them the bootleg, illegal Bruce Lee material, and they would give me all the original Golden Harvest film material.
What do you mean illegal?
You would get a lot of where people would copy Bruce Lee's films and sell them on the black market and call them something else. So it was all like the illegal things that I would swap for good things. I was very lucky that Golden Harvest was there, and Chinatown, of course, because that's where I started with all the Chinese magazines. Displayed the collection into different countries. So in the first cabinet, it's Europe and some doubles of magazines and books that I've got. The second cabinet is the UK. The third cabinet is America. The fourth cabinet is Hong Kong. And the fifth cabinet is Japan and Hong Kong.
呢一間房我就覺得好似係李小龍嘅圖書館咁樣。Patrick 將過去幾十年嚟，由開始喺英國唐人街嗰邊買到有關李小龍嘅雜誌開始，到後來佢去到香港，發現更多有關李小龍嘅資料，佢就決心四圍搜羅同埋收集更多有關李小龍嘅資料。喺呢一度 ，Patrick 好心機咁樣將佢分門別類，大致上係分為英國、歐洲、美國、日本同埋香港搜羅返嚟嘅，無論書啊、雜誌、poster、DVD、錄影帶，甚至係少少嘅紀念品，喺呢一間房都可以揾到。咁我仲留意到呢 Patrick 係將每一本雜誌，幾乎係每一樣嘢都會有啲膠套啊、protector 之類，好好保存咁呢啲好珍貴嘅資料。呢一份心機其實係睇得出佢對李小龍嘅一份珍惜同埋尊重，所以李小龍嘅屋企人都對 Patrick 好似係李小龍嘅朋友咁樣看待。如果你都係李小龍迷嘅話，我就覺得不如喺呢一度嚟個揮手區，喺留言區揮一下手。我就好好奇想睇下，到底大家所收集嘅有關李小龍嘅資料有冇好似 Patrick 咁多呢？
And then I continued until I had my children. I kind of stopped for 15, 16 years. And then once my children got to like 15, 16, I started to get back into like Bruce Lee, and then that's when I started to travel back to Hong Kong quite regularly. All collectors, you try and find the rare things, and most of the rare things come from Hong Kong. With collections, it's not a nice way of saying it, but it's like the pre-death magazines. So magazines that were printed before Bruce Lee died, they're very collectible. They just have a special thing with all collectors. But no, I got to go to Bruce Lee's house on the first trip, so that was very special. The second time I went was for the statue unveiling on the Avenue of Stars, so that was the second time, and that was the time I went to China as well, when I went to his ancestral home in Shundi. That's where Bruce Lee's grandparents come from.
唔單止去探訪埋李小龍個祖父母嘅故鄉，佢甚至喺唔同嘅場合認識咗李小龍嘅屋企人，包括佢媽媽、家姐、細佬。佢仲會遊歷世界各地好多個地方，去認識相關嘅人等，包括李小龍嘅太太 Linda 同埋李小龍個女李香凝。佢仲會帶住海報喺身邊，一遇到有關嘅人等，就會捉住佢哋簽名。Can you tell us something about this poster?
Yeah, so this poster is very special to me because I've carried it around the world for the last 20 years. So whoever I have the privilege of meeting that was connected to the film Enter the Dragon, I get them to sign it for me. So you can see along the bottom, obviously I couldn't get Bruce Lee, so Robert Lee, his brother, signed that. And then we have John Thaxton, Anna Capri, Fred Weintraub, Paul Heller, Bob Wall, Jim Kelly, Angela Mayo, Linda Lee, Shannon Lee, Phoebe Lee.
唔單止係咁 ，Patrick 仲認識咗同樣喺九龍聖方濟書院讀書嘅李小龍學弟陳先生。陳先生回憶返當年自己仲係小朋友嘅時候嘅一段故事。嗰一年係1973年，已經紅透半邊天嘅李小龍返去母校出席一個頒獎禮。當李小龍頒獎俾陳先生嘅時候，陳先生要求李小龍除去上衣，展示一下佢嘅肌肉。點知李小龍真係照做喎，呢度有圖有真相。
No, this is Bruce Lee's actual writings on the 5 ways of attack.
喺呢度 Patrick 就分享咗一份十分珍貴嘅李小龍親手寫嘅手稿同埋圖片。喺李小龍嘅年代，互聯網仲未普及，因此佢會選擇以出書嘅形式嚟傳遞自己嘅功夫理念同埋武打招式。而事實上，李小龍確實係寫咗一啲書，以分享佢自己嘅武術哲學同埋技巧。例如好似 Patrick 而家手上呢一本書咁樣，係寫咗好多關於詠春拳同埋自由形式武術嘅理念，以及大量嘅技巧同埋訓練方式，係一本學習嘅重要資源。而有一個名句 Be Water 其實係出自於李小龍，佢呢一句名言其實就係體現咗佢嘅哲學思想同埋武術理念。Be Water 嘅意思就好似水咁樣咁靈活，因為水具有自由流動嘅特性，可以適應任何形狀嘅容器，亦都能夠穿越障礙。 李小龍希望人喺生活之中亦都好似水一樣咁靈活，唔僵化於固定嘅模式或者觀念。呢個概念代表咗一種靈活適應嘅生活態度，就好似水一樣能夠流動，適應各種環境而唔被固定嘅形式所拘束。呢啲亦都成為咗李小龍嘅詠春拳哲學之中嘅一個重要原則，強調自由流動同埋適應性。因此 ，Be Water 嘅概念成為李小龍生平之中嘅一個重要信條，亦都係喺佢嘅教學同埋武術哲學中得到咗廣泛傳承同埋推崇。李小龍喺1973年7月20號喺香港突然離世，當時年僅32歲。佢嘅死有好多嘅揣測同埋謠言，呢度都唔再去探討。但係佢嘅離世係為武術界同埋影壇帶嚟巨大嘅損失。Patrick 曾經探訪過呢位天王巨星葬身喺美國嘅墓地，佢話當見到李小龍同埋佢個仔李國豪嘅墓碑時，心情嘅悲痛實在冇辦法用言語嚟形容。一代巨星，長眠淨土。
今日好榮幸咧，我竟然咧係喺英國嗰度遇到一位李小龍迷啊，係即唔止係李小龍迷啊，直情係超級李小龍迷添啊！咁啊 Patrick 咧好多謝，thank you Patrick for coming to my interview today and 李小龍迷咧，其實咧佢就有一樣嘢咧，就需要各位李小龍迷幫手嘅，就係咧佢儲緊一本咧叫做《四海周報》，咁佢咧就仲爭3期，就係一個 full collection 噶啦。咁到底有冇人可以幫到佢咧？咁大家如果即係可以幫到嘅話，留言或者揾我都得。咁咧今日真係好高興啊，同阿 Patrick 有一個好好嘅 conversation 啦。咁希望大家中意呢一集嘅話，就記得
Like, share and subscribe. Thank you very much.
咁我哋下次再見啦，拜拜。
拜拜。